you actually go to sleep tonight. I'm gonna see if, I guess I could do some banana pancakes and eggs or something. Let's see, I hate using my new phone for stuff, but I should use my new phone for streaming and my other phone for Good morning. I'm making pancakes if I can find a good recipe that's not, I don't normally make bread-y stuff for breakfast. I finally get, when I go live every day, I get people to come to my chat room immediately, but if you stop going live for a couple days, you're done. Do we want eggs and good morning. We're making pancakes and making some coffee because I'm not with it this morning. We definitely need coffee. I've been having a hard time at school. I'm in college to become a nutritional biochemist, and it's been taking up a lot of my time. A lot of my sanity is gone to these classes. Hi, guys. How's everybody today? Sorry, y'all. I look so wonderful this morning just getting out of bed. Good morning. But you know what I will say, y'all? I might be struggling right now, but I've got solid 100s on every single assignment and every single test and every single quiz I've done. I've got straight 100s, perfect scores for my classes. But it's something I'm really interested in. I love nutrition and I love biochemistry. I know, I'm so excited. I'm happy, but it's taken its toll on me. I'm like, whew. And then my grandmother's got RSV, so thank you. I know. Thank you so much. I know I'm really proud of myself because it's a lot of work and it's hard work. So thank you. I'm taking summer classes. I thought they would be much easier taking summer classes than it would be to take, you know, an actual full semester of these two classes. And one is a writing class that I took as an elective, my last elective, and I was like, get it out of the way. And I thought over the summer would be great. What is OST testing? Is that like state testing? I'm not familiar with OST. Any kind of testing, though, is a lot of energy, a lot of stress, a lot of everything. It's really hard. It's hard. And you know what the funny thing is like when you take a math class, they're like, oh, you're going to need to memorize all these formulas for the test. And it's like, well, let's think about real life. In real life, if I'm in a field, like if I'm an engineer, I'm going to have access. If I use I'm just going to know the formulas. I'm not going to need to know a million different formulas. And if I forget a formula, wait a second, there's Google. So I don't know. I just think it's setting kids up for failure to do what we're doing in a society as but I'm here to change the food and health industry. I'm not here to change how people go to school because that would be too much for me. I just want to change. I want to make strides in the field of disease and research on disease. But to do that, I have to have a PhD in nutritional biochemistry. So that's what I'm going for. Thank you. I appreciate you, especially as a small-time content creator. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm really tired today. How are y'all today? I know that you're okay. Hi, how are you this morning? Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. And you know what? Like in math, they build off of everything, and it's like if you forget one little thing, especially in the level of math that I'm doing, it gets really hard if you forget how to do one little step when the problem's like this long, and it's like simplify this problem, and it's like, wait a second, I have a cubed here. I'm supposed to do something with the cube, and I forgot. Is it a minus b? And then another parentheses with a squared minus ab plus b squared, or is it minus c? And I'm like, these people here. Pegging sesh. Pegging! Yeah, those are hard, right, y'all? Any difference of cubes, all the basics that you have to learn that you keep building off of. Well, if you forget any of those basics, you're done. You're done. You're done. Go back and relearn the whole thing because that's where you're at. You got to redo it. And they keep slamming me with so much stuff. I'm like, I love math, don't get me wrong. My subjects are math and I'm really good at writing. Do I enjoy it? I enjoy math a lot. I enjoy learning new things and stuff like that. But the writing gets tedious. Like one assignment, just a regular discussion was 1,200 words, which is 4 pages. And it's like, well, um, that's a lot of junk that you're making me do. Hold on now, I'm gonna get my flour. We're gonna make this work where I can. I know one, and that's just a regular paper, like a regular discussion. That was nothing like a thesis. That was nothing, no final, nothing. And that's what I said. I said, how I'd hate to see what my final paper is gonna look like because just a regular Tuesday, this is what we're doing. This is not a final. This is just the start of the summer semester. So I'm gonna need a whole lot of like breathing techniques. Like I can write about everything while writing about nothing at the same time. So it wasn't too hard. Thank you. Thank you so much. I do got this. And sometimes you have to remind yourself that you do have this because it does get very you can't. It's on 4 pages. And that is with it. Well, it's 2 if it's single space, but you know, they never let you turn in anything single space, so it's 4. And that's just for one though. I think that's what you're saying. The one, yeah, I know. And you know what I ended up doing? I could not come up with 19 words. Hi, Oak and Spore Mushroom Farm. How are you today? Do you sell mushrooms by chance on a farm? Or is it you just like that? But that kind of seems what you're going for there. You know, I've been looking into the healing properties of mushrooms and I'm kind of all over the place now, huh? You know what? Well, I'm glad that you're here. I'm very glad that you're here. We are making pancakes and I'm making some coffee because, y'all, I stayed up yesterday doing so much math work. I was like, it was 10 p.m. and I was like, okay, I got one more test to take. It's only going to take me 90 minutes to take this one test. And then I was like, and then they let you take the test again but I made a 100 the first try. Um, yes, mushrooms are very healing, but I was up so late. I was like out of it. I was out of it. I was out of it. But did y'all know do anything in chemistry? Did y'all know y'all need a lot of math? And I mean a lot of math. Okay, so my kitchen, no judging right now, my kitchen is kind of, so here we have one. I'm not gonna lie, it's a very small kitchen, yeah. So this is the countertop. And the house is a mess right now. My grandma's got RSV. My daughter just graduated, and I'm in way over my head in school. So we got a little bit of a mess, but you just got your basic. My sink is pretty cool, though. It's pretty big. Not that you probably don't want to see my sink, but, you know. Michigan. Do you want to see my view, though, real quick? Out of my kitchen window? That's probably my most favorite part of this whole thing, is my view out of my kitchen window. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the Ford Lake is right there. Yes. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. The kitchen's small and things are messy right now. Life is kind of messy. Normally it doesn't get this messy. So, well, thank you. Thank you. And I appreciate that because life did get real. Normally it's spotless, but life has been. My grandmother in March 17th got a brand new pacemaker. She was in active congestive heart failure. So she gets out of the hospital, she gets home, and I take care of her full time. She gets home, and then she gets RSV. And that has been a month of, it's been hard. She's going to the doctor today at 11:50, and we're hoping we get the, chili powder. You know, these bottles don't fit in my cabinets, these bigger bottles like this. So I kind of stuck all my bigger bottles on the back of the stove here because they don't go anywhere. So, and I know that's probably not a good spot for them since the heat and stuff. Me too. I love hot food. I'm making pancakes and I'm making, I'm going to find my brain somewhere and y'all just ship it back to me. If y'all see my sanity running around anywhere, just let me know. But then my daughter graduated from 8th grade, y'all. It was so wonderful, such a wonderful ceremony. I'm so proud of her. She gave the graduating speech. She had honors. Oh, I'm going to pray for your grandmother. I'm gonna be honest, and I gotta go shopping. Now, I'm gonna say something about, thank you. I'm gonna say something about Alzheimer's. Our med, this is my bone to pick with the medical industry, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing in school. Because I already have a degree, but I can't do what I want to do with the degree that I have. I have a degree in history. I want to do taking care of elderly, taking care of seeing what happens over time. No one knows that, a lot of people don't know that Alzheimer's is classified as diabetes type 3. It's from sugar. You eat sugar and it either kills your liver with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease or it kills your kidneys. Like my grandmother has failing kidneys and she's got congestive heart failure, but she's got the Best kind of congestive heart failure. She's got the one caused from sugar. So it's the diastolic heart failure. But here's my thoughts on Alzheimer's. So if you give the body the right conditions, it will heal. Hold on one second. Did you know the brain is soft tissue? Did you know your skin is soft tissue? So if you get a cut or a nick on your skin, what happens? It heals because it's soft tissue. Soft tissue can heal itself. So my thought is if soft tissue can heal itself and the brain is soft tissue, why haven't they been able to cure Alzheimer's disease? And then I'm like, no, it's the medical industry, because they're not actually attacking the problem, they're attacking the symptoms. Hold on, guys, I'm making a mess here. So I'm here to change that. That's why I got to get my degree, because I have watched what the medical industry does. Like high blood pressure, you go to the doctor, you get high blood pressure. I actually don't have any food right now. I'm not going to even lie. And I have a lot of canned goods that we're not going to go into how bad they are for you. But until I get my little bag of, the mailman gives me a bag to donate my food in once a year. I'll show you my refrigerator, but y'all don't touch me. It has not been healthy lately. Hold on. My healthy food is not, okay, my definition of healthy food is not most people's definition of healthy food. So real food is classified by two things: what feeds the liver and protects the gut. Hold on, let me get my stuff done right here. So as long as it feeds the liver and protects your gut, that's what your body recognizes as real food. If it does one but not the other, your body's going to recognize it, but not too well. It's going to store and pollute the liver, and it's going to store and pollute your kidneys and things like that. So that's something that, as long as it's real food, it don't matter. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm hot basket case this morning. Oh, this is all my coffee. I spilled it. Oh, I'm having a day, but at least I clean my countertops off. I gotta stop and get coffee when I go out. And no, coffee's not good for you either, too. So this is what it is. Well, it is and it's not. Most coffee has black mold, especially if you don't grind it yourself and you get like the Folgers container or Maxwell. It's all filled with mold. You know what? I've been told my food is so good. I learned how to cook in Louisiana. I learned how to flavor my food in Louisiana. Moving to Texas, I learned how to smoke. A lot of people smoke brisket there, smoke their barbecue meat. So good. I learned how to do that. But now that I live in a condo, I can't even have a barbecue, a pit on the porch, because it violates their things, the homeowners association thing that we have to abide by. So it's but yeah. Oh, hi Jana, how are you? So you can't have a smoker here, so I'm unfortunately not. So my food's good though. It's really good. Heck yeah. How far down in Ohio? I'm kind of by Detroit, Michigan. Are you like by the border of Michigan and Ohio? Because I know I can get to Ohio in like 45 minutes. Right? I think it's because they're afraid people are going to catch fires or something. Oh, say hello to Adrian for me. And Rick, obviously. But Adrian! What are y'all making? I'm making pancakes. What's the Z? Hell diver. I almost called you hell driver. I was gonna say, let's go. Let's take a drive. Let's not to hell though. That's a bad place. That's the bad place. So we are making pancakes. Okay, somebody wanted to see my refrigerator. We're towards the country. Oh, you're lucky. I've seen some pretty countryside, and so this is the inside of my fridge. This is Amish amoxicillin. These are my strawberries, my yogurt, my half and half. Oh, look, we have kefir. Carly told me we're out of kefir. And then this, don't judge me for this. This was my mother yesterday, brought this to me. And then like chicken broth, and like this is, I made a pasta, and this is my butter we buy. Are you really in Brazil? Hey, Amy. How are you this morning? Y'all want to see something though? I get my eggs from my uncle, and he's got the farm, you know. So it's your job to wash them, and I'm like, amen. But y'all want to see? This is a rhubarb pie, but I have normally a lot more eggs. I had 12 dozen eggs in my refrigerator, but we go through eggs like crazy. That is so cool. That is really cool. How is the Amazon rainforest? I have to ask, do y'all have a lot of spiders and stuff that are, that you deal with on a daily basis? I know it is. You know what I've noticed that I didn't, first off, I've never bought eggs in like the past year from the grocery store. So when I didn't know how much they were, but then I finally did buy some eggs from the grocery store they were organic too. And I got them home. The yolk, when I mixed it up, was almost like never mixed in with the clear part of the egg. It was not homogeneous. It was like chunky, if I can explain that right. And it's not what's on. That's so cool. Ice box. Oh, you want to see the freezer too? Is that what we're talking? I can show you my freezer too. No, they're not. And you know what? Just because they're certified organic does not, by the time they get on the shelf, that nutrition label and the ingredient label is kind of a minute point, because if during the process of harvesting them, you put chemicals in it, if the chickens are eating feed that doesn't cover the nutrition that they would get, you're not getting a nutritious product. So the nutrition on everything needs to be redone. Like there's people that buy salt and it has lead in it, and it has high levels of heavy metals in it. And it's like, well, how'd that happen? Well, salt's dried out and then they scrape it up. Well, as they're scraping it up, pieces from the shovel or thing that they're using to scrape it up get left in the product. And they're not putting that on there. And if you go buy salt, they're not putting lead on there. Morton salt, stay away from that. That stuff's poison. It'll actually cut your insides all to hell. Excuse my language. I'm sorry about that. They're doing something to them. I don't know what it is, but farm fresh eggs, when you mix them up, they mix. They become one. And then these ones that I got, that they said they were organic, so you have to trust the label, did not. They were, And then I'm going on a discovery about my dishwasher soap. So I've been using we used Finish for years and years and years, and then I got some Cascade on sale, and I was like, oh, let's try Cascade. Made my dishwasher stink really bad. So I'm like, you know what? I looked up the chemicals on the back. You don't want to use that stuff. That stuff is nasty. Well, my dishes came out sparkling clean every time, so you really can't complain, right? Well, no, you can, because I switched to a different, it's a borax, baking soda and citric acid mix I made myself. The dishes came out foggy looking, and I'm like, what's wrong with the dishes? So then I put a dish that we don't ever use, a couple of them, 3 of them, into the dishwasher. And I was like, if those come out cloudy, I know it's what I'm using now. But if they come out clean, then I know it's not this. They came out sparkling clean. So I come to find out Cascade and Finish both put this heavy, thick coating on your dishes that makes your glass sparkle. It makes your food just slide right on off. However, you also eat that. You lick your spoons, So I'm trying to get all this crap off my silverware and my dishes. Well, see, here's the thing. With the salt, you actually have to email the company. I trust these 2 brands. I'm going to show you in 1 second. Sea salt's good. Himalayan pink sea salt's really good for you. But it's the processing that they do, and it's not on the label. But you can email the company, and the company has to tell you how much lead, how much cadmium, how many heavy metals, all the stuff that's in it. They legally have to tell you. They just don't have to actually disclose it on their product. Hold on. So this Baja Gold sea salt. Now I'm going to be honest with you. Now the problem with sea salt is the sea's filled with plastic. So no matter what you do, if you're eating sea salt, unfortunately, they say to get it mined out of the mines of, I think it's in Ohio. Yeah, it's gross. It's gross what everybody, and salt, y'all, has been demonized. And I'm going to let y'all in on a secret. Salt, if you don't have proper salt nutrition, you can lose your vision. Your joints start to corrode and like can't function. You'll get arthritis. And this, I use this too. This is Celtic salt by, it's hand harvested in France. And like, this is a large bag, but this bag will last me the year. You know what I mean? So it is a little pricey, but a year it'll last you. But it's processed salt, like so sodium that you see on a label, that is, you avoid that like the plague. That's the stuff that's poisoning your body. However, actual salts with over 100 minerals and vitamins in it, your body desperately needs that. So I recommend a little bit of, I have a shot every morning that's got ginger, lemon, warm water, and salt. And I love it. You know what? I've had this since, I use a pinch of it every day. Me and my daughter do. And I've had this since before Christmas. But I can't tell you the exact Amazon. You know, I'm not going to even lie. I know Amazon's. Ooh, I don't know if I'll be able to go or not with you on your live, Jana. Jana will have a live at 2. Grandma's got a doctor's appointment at 11:50, and she's wanting to do some running around. My grandmother, she's 95 years old. You get her out of the house, she doesn't want to come home. She's like, let's go there, let's go here. And I'm like, let's go. You know, at 95, this is, you know, might be your last day, so let's make the most of it. But like, the lady downstairs is 80, and anytime she's like, gosh, I can't believe you, Grandma did all that stuff. We tell her what we've done for the day, and she's like, I can't believe you did all that, Helen. That's my grandma's name, is Helen. But yeah, this brand, I really like this brand and Amazon because it's convenient. I'm not gonna even lie, I know Amazon. Well, I sell stuff off Amazon. So you do help small buyers, but Amazon's really, I think, trying to phase out their small buyers because they charge you an arm and a leg for seller fees now. And then if someone returns something, they charge you the original price, and you do not get back the money you had to pay Amazon for packaging it. So they charge you like a 15% fee to package. Well, then when it gets returned, you still have to pay. You do not get that 15% fee back, and you have to pay a restocking fee. So if y'all are buying stuff on Amazon, just be careful if you return it. If it's like a seller, it's like the other sellers, and it's not the yellow, you know, add to cart or anything like that. If you have to go to another page, those are small individual sellers that get reamed when you return something. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Grandma is amazing, y'all. She's the strongest woman I know. Very much so. Would you get the matcha out, please? Thank you. It was in with Grandma's stuff that we had in her back of her car when we went garage sailing. We shoved it all in a bag somewhere. I think it was in those plastic bag down on the ground there, that trash bag. My daughter's getting some, she's making some matcha. Some matcha. She had some yesterday. She's not a caffeine drinker, and she had some matcha yesterday. She was up till 3 a.m. tossing in her bed. She was like, yeah. For small sellers, it's really important. It almost doesn't profit to sell on Amazon anymore. I'm going to be 100%, because I'm a reseller. So I'll go to like Ollie's or like a bargain bin store, and I'll get stuff for a very cheap price, and then I will sell it for enough to make, and I'm talking, it's not a huge profit. Sometimes it's 50 cents, sometimes it's $5 an item I sell. But then if it gets returned, I end up eating my profits. And it's like, then I'm desperately just trying to hope it sells one more time so that I can come out even, or like have a very small profit margin. Yeah, Amazon's kind of ruined small sellers, and it's a shame. But I will say this, since oh, what is going on in California? I have seen protests, but that is just absolute nonsense. They are not proving a point, and if they really wanted to help people, they would help those people start the asylum process that they should have started years ago. And that breaks my heart, because it's like, now that push comes to shove, you're going to burn your city down. We want progress. That is not progress. Come on, people, let's think. If you want these people to stay and you're so gung-ho, like these, we need these people here, help them by doing the paperwork. Help them by getting them into somewhere. This is not political at all. I'm not for either party. I'm for common sense. If we really want to help these people and they're not dangerous, that's one thing. Just as long as they're not dangerous, I have no problem. We are a cesspool of different people that, love each other. We're American. We really do. And I think the whole Democrat and Republic thing is just to divide people. And it's sad, because I think everybody kind of wants the same thing. Republicans want protected streets. Democrats want everyone loved and protected. And it's like, well, we want the same things. Why can't we all come together and just, I don't know. Again, I'm all over the place. But I saw some fires burning. Someone had a live that they were walking around down there. And I was like, what? Because I don't watch the news, so I have no idea what's actually going on half the time. And I was like, the National Guard's been deployed. Did y'all know that right before Biden and Kamala left the office, that what they did with the National Guard is now able to kill Americans for the first time in history. They have the go-ahead authority to kill Americans on American soil. So it's like, well, so when the National Guard I saw got deployed to California, I was like, I don't think those people understand what's actually going on right now. They can legally kill those people and they don't need a reason. Actually, what I think Trump, what I read, and I'm trying to figure out what's all been going on, because, again, I don't watch the news. I don't trust the news. But from what I can piece together by watching lives and shorts off YouTube from actual people that are like in it, is that it has not been it has not been cleared for them to use deadly force. It's only been cleared for them to use like aggressive force, I would say, to keep the people that they're, when they're protesting, safe. My thing is how did the cars get lit on fire? I'm so worried about those people's lungs. Yes, exactly. I got a spammer calling me from Oregon, y'all. Yeah, I just wish we could all just come to peace, because the state of the world and the state of the United States is not good. Like, from what I saw, I would never let my child like walk around on the streets of California. It's kind of sad what's been going on. I don't even know how to say that it is crap. And I don't think that, it's a left or a right problem. I think people just lost their ding dang marbles. Like that whole thing when people were getting upset because somebody would get misgendered or something. Like a man in a dress would be like, oh, I'm a woman. And then somebody would say, oh, well, hi, sir. And he'd be like, oh my God. And it's like, get over it. I've never been misgendered, but I've been called names and stuff. I'm not going to let that hurt my day, because the only person who can hurt me is me. You know what I mean? Thank you so much, Chilled. And thank you for subscribing. Especially as a small-time content creator, I really, really, really appreciate it. But enjoy the rest of your day. We have a full day ahead of us, too. Hold on, guys. I got to get my matcha. Uh-oh, somebody put a cup in the cupboard. That was... Okay. Hold on one second, guys. I gotta get my coffee. It's only supposed to brew for 4 minutes. I am crazy with my coffee, y'all. I sometimes let it go for too long. But this is the only way I don't have mold in my coffee, is by brewing it like this. Mold or plastic. Opinions on Japanese people. You know what? I'm going to be honest. I don't know too much about the Japanese culture. I I think Japanese people are cute. I like their facial structure. Um, but as far as I don't really have an opinion on them. I have opinions on the Chinese government. I don't have opinions on the Chinese people, because I think those poor people, their government has kind of overstepped. And you can't even talk bad about the government and you could just come up missing. I don't think that's right. But I don't have any actual opinions on Japanese people. Do you have any, though? I would love to get to know your opinions on Japanese people. Oops. I have spilled everything today. I'm having one of those days that maybe my day would have been better spent off in bed this morning. One second. Making a mess, even more of a mess than I'd like to admit I've got in my house right now. Oh, there's a lot of coffee on my stove. Spilled it. I got mistreated all the time. Exactly. That's what I say. If you know who you are, that's all that matters. And no one can make you feel bad except for you. If you yes, people's words can hurt. I'm not going to lie, they can. But how do I explain it? Hold on. If you wake up in the morning and someone was like, okay, you're a terrible person, they told me that, I would go, no, I'm not. I try to make the right decision with every choice I have in my life. Whether I make mistakes just like the next person, but I try to evaluate each choice and each decision as a thing. The AI thing scares the living bejesus out of me. I'm not going to even pretend like I kind of was going to glaze over that. I like AI for its advancements in surgeries, things like that. But we're literally building the stuff that is going to end our society. And just because you can do something doesn't mean it's a good idea. I have to throw that out there. Some of the things that they're using AI for, and how could we think it would go any other way? Because the entire economy is a pyramid scheme. And stop to think about that. Hold on, grab some. So everybody's like, inflation's bad. Well, normal inflation is okay. It's when we print too much money, but that's getting off track. I can't believe you've been misgendered. That is too funny. But like you said, and I know I'm getting off track here, but like you said, you're the only one that can let someone upset you like that. Like, if someone calls me and I'm not going to let it even bother me. It shouldn't. But we are making our own replacements with AI, and the whole economy is a pyramid scheme. So think about it. Say I own a company, I'm the CEO of my company, and I have 5 employees. Well, okay, each one of my employees needs to make more money every year. So I'm going to give them more money every year, but to get more money, I have to charge more for my product. But the person who ships my product to me needs more money because their employees need more money. So everyone, the cost of everything, and unfortunately, the way it is, we have no choice but to move to AI because fast food places can't afford to keep charging more and more and pay their employees more and more because people just aren't buying the food as much as they used to when say McDonald's had this huge dollar menus back in the 90s. Hi, Chilled. So they had this huge dollar menu back in the 90s and it was awesome. But at the same time, it's one, we can't afford to keep paying the people at the bottom of the rung more and more every year. So those people won't be able to afford basic cost of living. And those places can't keep overly charging for what they're doing because people aren't buying it. McDonald's reported a record amount of losses compared to other, even during COVID, because they just aren't, they can't afford it. And if you keep paying people terribly, anyways, it's all going to fall from under us. It's going to collapse. It's just a matter of when. I think the Native Americans truly had it right when they had the land. Whatever they'd kill or take, they'd make sure they used it all and they'd give back to the land. We are destroying the land. We rip it up. And it's just like, yes. Have y'all seen the medical system with the AI technology? Have y'all seen they did a successful eye transplant? And the person is not able to see, but they can see shadows and stuff, and it's getting more usable as the time passes. But yeah, the medical aspect of it is great, especially since you go to the doctor and a lot of people get misdiagnosed, or it's a terrible thing. Like my mom got diagnosed with asthma, and one day she just felt so bad. She thought she had pneumonia, so she went to the doctor and was like, I can't catch my breath. I'm just coughing constantly. Well, a test, she was internally bleeding. Her hemoglobin was down to a 3. She had to go to the doctor, to the hospital, and get 3 blood transfusions. What was like 3.8 on her hemoglobin levels. So she was literally had no blood inside of her body. It was leaking all into her lungs. And it was filling her lungs up. That's very true. Yeah, they do. And when I really believe AI will eventually become a free thinking thing. I think, and I think, you know what's funny is I think we're powering this madness. Like, I go to Google and I'll ask questions. I go to Chat GPT and I ask questions. And then I go to OpenAI and I'll ask questions if I need a different opinion on stuff. And I'm kind of feeding it, not only the way I think and the questions that I would ask, but the answers that I need if it's not the direct answer I write. So I'm actually educating AI about how humans think and would ask questions. Yeah, so she's good now. But again, she doesn't have asthma. Did not have asthma at all. And she went and she just got diagnosed with asthma because that's what it showed up as. She wasn't breathing right. She wasn't getting oxygen in her lungs because her lungs were filled with blood. Did y'all know, fun fact, when they're like, you have blood on your, or I'm sorry, fluid on your stuff, that is blood, pus, mucus, that is code for all the things that you don't want to hear. So if they ever say you have fluid on something, just know, ask them what they mean by fluid, because that means a whole lot of stuff. Like my ex had gotten into a car accident with a drunk driver and he got flung through the windshield and he lost mobility to use his right leg. He had a spot that they kept his leg even though it was dead, and he had a prosthetic that made his leg work like a real leg, like yours or mine. And he had a spot on his foot that got infected because, like a diabetic, you can't feel it. You don't realize that his shoe was rubbing, and all of a sudden they were like, oh, well, we went to the doctor. They go, oh, you got fluid on your foot. It was pus. It was an infected pus pocket. A fun fact. And then my neighbor had fluid on his lungs, and it was blood. They told my mom she had fluid on her lungs. It was blood because she was internally bleeding, when she finally got it fixed out. And I was like, that word fluid is very, 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 very. Okay, so let's go this way. I'm going to measure out. Hey, Kylie, do you want me to mix your matcha up, and then do you want to come finish it? Or do you want me to, huh?
Yeah, I can finish it.
Because I'm having some really good conversations right now. I'm enthralled in the conversation of AI and yeah, very much so. Very much so. And you know what's sad is that so many people get misdiagnosed, and that's what I want to do. I want to take, my goal is to take Chinese medicine, but not, traditional, it's called TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, and I want to mix it with chemistry because, like, did you know arthritis? If you have arthritis, you have a vitamin deficiency. So your joints can no longer, that have the padding in the joint, you aren't eating the vitamins that you needed for your joint to replenish. So over time, it just diminishes and diminishes until it's almost bone on bone. And that doesn't happen overnight. That takes years and years to happen. So they can't even diagnose arthritis until it's 50% of the joint is gone. But by that time, your body almost can't replace the stuff that it's lost. So I want to take that right there. You go to the doctor and you get put on steroids, anti-inflammatories for your arthritis. It's a nutritional deficiency, so why not look at their blood work? Why not look at their ability to synthesize food, absorb the nutrients that they are eating, and to make things like your joints or your replenish your bone or to fix your teeth. Yes, your body can heal a cavity. If given the right conditions, it can heal a cavity. But that makes sense, right? So if you break a bone, it heals. If you get, okay, so if you tear a tendon, sometimes you do have to get surgery, but it will heal. All these things, your body heals. You get a cut on your arm, it heals. So it just makes sense that your teeth would do the exact same thing the rest of your body does. Your eyes as well. If you wear glasses like I do, I'm still working on this, but there's mucus that gets stuck in the back of the eye that causes your eye not to be able to see as well. So if you can get, like I have a slow draining, my pituitary glands are slow draining. So I'm using TCM to do tapping like this all over my body at different points, and it causes the system to get rid of the extra fluid and to get rid of all this other stuff that it's kind of wanting to hold on to. Like I hold on to mucus. I get a sinus infection every year and I can't not get it, and it's like my body refuses to let go of the mucus. It loves the mucus. I know, but see, that's what being a doctor, they should be able to tell us. But if they fixed us, where would the profit be? There wouldn't be any profit. Because if I no longer need to go to the doctor every month because of my arthritis pills or refill for this or refill for that, and I actually fixed my own body. Yes! Okay, I'm going to show you the points that you're going to do. Hold on one second. I get so excited. You have an inability to let go of mucus and fluid. And that just means you're, now I get the two words confused. I keep calling it a pituitary system. The glands in your armpit. I can't draw a blank right now, Jesus. But that system is not functioning properly. So I 30 times I tap here, 30 times in the collarbone. Start with your left armpit and you smack it. You cup your hand like this and you smack it. Smack your armpit. On the left side first, you do the left armpit and then you do the joint right here. Then you do your right armpit and the right here. And you want to cup it because you don't want to just slap like flat-handed. You want to kind of cup. And then I take and I push the stomach down. And it's hard to show, but right here where your legs bend, do 30 times there, and then on the back of your knee. Sorry, the back of your knee right here. You tap, and if you do it with consistency for a month, you won't have that extra fluid. That's helped me out tremendously, but I'm still having sinus infection. So I know that part of it, I looked into it, I need more moisture in my environment. Michigan's very dry, so I know I need a humidifier. So I got to do that. But also allergies and stuff like that are also because of your gut bacteria. So if you have a good enough diverse gut bacteria, you don't have allergies. People who are raised on a farm usually don't have too bad of allergies. And when I say raised on, I mean raised like from baby, infant, having time in the barn, build your immune system. Amazing. So I would eat fermented foods like kefir or kimchi or something, like a teaspoon a day. And then it's about feeding the bacteria. It's like a pet. So then you got to feed it all. So then you got to make sure you eat your fiber as well, because the fiber is so important to feed the bacteria. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But see, this is why I'm going to school, because this is basic stuff that nobody ever taught me. Like I would only know part of this if my grandmother wouldn't have got as sick as she did a couple years ago, I got breast cancer. And my health, I was severely overweight. I had breast cancer. And why did I get breast cancer? Was my question. And that went on to a can of worms. I changed my major. I'm sorry, I have a degree and I completely threw it out the window. And I'm doing this because there's so many people that don't know this stuff, and it's like there's the science of everything has been bought and paid for. A lot of it's been bought and paid for. You can't even. It's sad. Yeah, but a lot of stuff is vitamin deficiencies. A lot of problems that people have are vitamin deficiencies. Or, you know. Oh, I'm so glad that y'all are here because I wouldn't be here without y'all. I'm going to be honest with y'all because I'm a very small time content creator. You know, I am too. I am very glad because, you know, I'm going to say this and y'all can think, you can think I am as silly as you want to think I am, but I'm literally going to school to give away my knowledge for free. I'm literally doing all this just to help people, and I know I can figure out how to get paid for it eventually. But that's actually my entire goal. I have a friend in Texas right now that cannot turn their mitochondria into energy. So mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. And you know, she messaged me, my friend, and was like, my mitochondria isn't turning, and she's like, my diet's terrible. So we got our diet on track, but now it's like she's still having this issue. Well, so I started doing more and more digging because this is something I'm very passionate about. Did you know E equals MC squared is so important for this? I did not know this till recently. So when light hits matter, when light hits something, it slows down. Okay. Now, when it slows down, it literally produces matter. You have a cartilage in your eye that slows light down. So because of that, your chi, as the Chinese call it, in America, you'd probably call it your life force or something, is literally 15 minutes in the morning of letting light pass through your eyes. I go and I take off my glasses and I let the light pass through my eyes. It has been life-changing. So that cartilage slows light down. So you literally replenish your actual life force, your energy. Turn the mitochondria into energy using the sunlight. So the sunlight gets slowed down and that causes it to produce matter. And I'm like, what? So sunlight, they tried to tell us that sunlight was bad for us. That sunlight, you know, wear your sunblock, wear your, you know, your sunglasses, your stuff. Yes, during the height of the day, please, you know, protect yourself. But in the morning before 10 a.m., 15 minutes of light could literally do wonders. I know. And it's helped her out so much. But she's went to doctor and you know what the doctor told her? You're just going to have to take these pills. And it was legal speed. I call it her go-go pills. She can't function without taking 3 or 4 of them a day. And she is a mother, a single mother, and she has a full-time job. She can't afford to be sleeping all day. So she's having to take these pills, and it's like, that sunlight's free. And no one ever told her that. And it's like, you go to the doctor, and they're not going to tell you to look at, you know, how much sunlight you're getting. They're not going to tell you, yes, they're going to tell you to exercise. They, you know, but I had a doctor recently tell me that was like, this nurse was talking in the hospital and she was like, I know yours is going to sound funny, but she goes, what you eat matters. And I'm like, oh yeah. But she's like, okay. She goes, I have to assure people that what you eat matters. And I'm like, no, I know. Beat breast cancer. I'm helping people beat the odds of things that they thought were impossible, or they were stuck with this debilitating disease. And I'm excited and I can't wait. And I want to help people with their health because I've been in the situation where there's no way to get helped. And the help that's out there is a pill or the lure of a treatment. Like, oh, we have a treatment for this. That's how this new generation is too. They stay inside and don't socialize like I did back in the 2000s. Being out in the sun, you are so right. Yeah, the sun. And
I just keep learning more and more about this stuff, and I get so excited to share it. Somebody on my live last week was like, why isn't your content about this? And I'm like, well, it kind of is. I was like, but I get so excited when I go to make a video about this stuff. It ends up being like 20 minutes long. And I'm like, nobody's going to even watch this. So then I end up throwing it away. So I started concentrating on the food aspect because I'm trying to show people if you can't have salt, because there are people that just, they can't do it. I make the food without salt and I show you can use real ingredients in your kitchen just to throw something together. And if you meal prep, it's super important to meal prep, especially if you're lazy, like I can be, or if life gets crazy, like it has been lately. It's really important to meal prep and to eat what your body needs. And, you know, yeah, you know, this next generation, I have somebody in my chemistry class right now that is, had, I forgot what exactly what it was, but it was this debilitating thing where his stomach stopped working, his intestines, he was going to have to get a lot of his intestines removed. That his brain wasn't functioning properly. He was basically dumbing down to nothing. His diet, he was playing video games till late in the evening. He wasn't getting in bed on time. He was. Did you have that? Is that this one? This one? We just gotta add. Would you grab the creamer out?
You put creamer.
Yeah, and you know, things like, I just helped someone with their acid reflux that they were having. They were having a lot of acid reflux, a lot of problems. And I'm like, well, a proton pump inhibitor stops your acid from being produced. I said, but that makes no sense because the reason you have indigestion is that there wasn't enough acid in your stomach to digest your food properly. So it just sits there, and of course it's got nowhere to go but up because it can't go down unless it's digested. So it just sits in there and it just kind of bubbles and ferments up. So I was like, you know what you do? You take raw garlic before your meal, smash it, wait 10 minutes. It produces something called anise, A-N-I-S-E. That chemical reaction is a powerhouse for your heart and your lungs. It's like the best. But what it also does is you take it like a pill 15 minutes before you eat. It increases your stomach acid. You eat, your food's digested, your stomach is cleared. You physically can't have indigestion if there's nothing to. Indigestion is in basically not being digested. It's in the name, but it comes back up. So as long as you take the garlic like a pill, it increases 10 or 15 minutes before your stomach acid. You eat it, your food goes downward, and you have nothing to come up. Now the thing is, the catch is if you eat at night, do not lay down for an hour or two after you eat the garlic because you did increase your stomach acid. So if you want to skip the heartburn, don't lay down after you eat. Wait 2 hours. Tell her, yes, please. That's what I'm like. Yeah, and it's a powerhouse for your heart and your lungs, and it helps you digest all your food, and it helps keep your gut bacteria fed from the fiber. And to top it off, it's an antibiotic, a natural antibiotic. So if you have any critters that aren't supposed to be in your body, or you have too much candida, or you have a yeast overgrowth in your intestines, or you have any, it's going to fix that. It's like a miracle. I'm going to call it a pill, even though it's not a pill. It's a miracle pill. Garlic is literally a miracle pill, and I love it. I love it. I get so excited. What time is it? Y'all know I got so excited I forgot about my pancakes. Yeah, did you know ginger is antiviral? So if you ever get a virus, take a ginger, juice some ginger, incorporate ginger into a meal. It can do what modern medicine has failed to do. So is garlic. No, I didn't even know Europe. I forgot about it. I got so excited. I'm fired. I'm fired. My family is very spoiled, though. I don't mean spoiled in a bad way. I mean spoiled in a good way. Spoiled in the best of ways. Because my daughter eats all homemade food. Did y'all know that my daughter's never had one of those like TV teenager outbursts. We're slamming doors or yelling. No, 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 no. I love this. I love this. This is what I love. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. And yay, I'm hired. Thank you, Amy. I'm rehired, y'all. But I need a raise. I do. Y'all, I eat honey. Sorry. You're not supposed to slap and chomp on your stuff. No, I gotta take grandma to the doctor at 11:50. Exactly. Actually, all my money right now that I make off Amazon goes, I earned a scholarship for school, which is good. But the textbooks, y'all, the textbooks. Not only that, I spend a lot of money on food. But I don't buy, like, a lot of people buy, like, Bath and Body Works. They buy this laundry soap that's, scented and all. I don't use any of that. I save so much money in every other aspect of my life. But all the money I save in every other aspect is spent on food because I like food. Thank you. I know. Don't we all, Amy? We can only afford so much. And that's one thing I want to help people with is because if your health is good, you're able to get out there and enjoy life, to be happy, to have the energy to make money, to have the energy to run with your kids and your families and live a long time. And again, that's why I go to school, is to help people for free. If anyone ever needs a consultation or any health problems that any of their family members have, hit me up. I am also, if you go to TikTok, I'm not big on TikTok because they're not fair to the creators. So the other day, I was on there and it said, congratulations, if anyone donates during your live, you get 6% of whatever's donated. 6%? So for every dollar, I get 6 cents. Yeah, textbooks are so wild. You know what? I found thrift books, and that has been a lifesaver. That has been a big lifesaver. And they if you could answer that, that would be great. And that's why it infuriates me, because I've never gotten a donation off TikTok. But I've heard the controversy of the people that are on TikTok that get these donations for charity and get not, like, hardly any of it actually goes to the charity. And my thing is if you're donating for a charity, you need to keep your hands out of those pockets. That is for the charity. Yeah, if we could really find out where it's going, because it's going in the owner's pocket, I guess, or I don't know. But I do know every live I've ever looked at on TikTok is a thank you. Every live I've ever looked at on TikTok, you know what they do? They're selling you something. They're selling you, a lot of people are selling you hope that you're going to lose these extra 5 pounds. You're going to lose these extra 5 pounds. Or, oh, I got the product for this. Or, you having a bad night's sleep, I got the product for you. And it's like, if you were selling food and common sense, I could get behind it. If you were selling, like, I deal with infections. I deal with infections all the time. I have, like, say, my grandmother always got rampant kidney infections, and she'd go to the doctor, and you know what the doctors did? They'd prescribe her an antibiotic. Well, her kidneys started to fail because you can only have so many infections that leave scar tissue on your kidneys before they just fail. But if someone would have stopped and said, okay, well, you're getting recurrent infections. Let's figure out why you're getting these infections. Let's pinpoint it. Her kidneys had dropped, so they weren't able to fully empty. So they were getting infected because the stuff was stagnant inside of her kidneys. And then when she got, congestive heart failure, your kidneys are a high pressure filtration organ. So unless they have the pressure to them, they can't filter anything out. So it's like if you have heart problems, you will have kidney problems eventually. But this is why I'm trying to change stuff, because people are not asking the right questions. Like, Yeah, she had an infection. Yeah, she should have given her antibiotics, but she should have figured out why she was having reoccurrent infection after infection. Like people who get their tonsils, have to get them taken out because they keep getting infection after infection after infection. Why not ask, why are they getting the infections after another after another? Why is it not clearing up? Is it the antibiotics aren't working? Is it their environment? Is it the food that they're eating? What is causing this? But no, that's not what they do. They just go, okay, we're done with this. Give you a pill, you're on your way. So yeah, that's my whole goal, is to change this whole thing. And I get so excited. And I'm very happy that I have people here today that want to hear about this. And you know, like if you're overweight, I used to be 200 pounds. And I didn't realize that being overweight is not just being overweight, it's metabolic dysfunction inside of the body. And like you go to the doctor and like, oh, you just need to lose a few pounds to meet your goal, you know? And it's like, I didn't know that my liver wasn't able to function properly, that my intestines weren't able to filter properly, that I was constantly having spike after spike after spike that was leading to insulin resistance. And that can cause, you get insulin resistance, y'all, that's the stuff you cannot reverse. If you're not sensitive to insulin in your body, that's things like heart disease, kidney failure, fatty liver, Alzheimer's. That's what you have. I used to work at a nursing home. I ran an Alzheimer's facility. I was the head honcho. I ran the night shift. I had a crew, had it all, and I had to walk away. The amount of, it's disgusting. It broke my heart. I was gonna cry over it. The amount of abuse that you see is terrible. And like when you go to the hospital, because the system's so overburdened, they have to ask, okay, I have a 20-year-old patient that needs this bed, and I have a 80-year-old here seeking help. We're going to treat the 80-year-old as quickly as we can and just realize that their life is not as valuable as the 20-year-old life. And the fact that that's how you're starting your conversation with somebody in your head to treat a patient, which they are under oath to treat them, and it's not, my grandma opened the door, and it's the start of when they started doing that, when they became overwhelmed. By 2030, 2037, by the time the doctors that are working now have to retire, and a lot of people aren't going into that field anymore because it is a lot of money, it's overly stressful, so people aren't doing it, right? Hi, Grandma. You want to see Grandma? She's all dressed and happy and pretty. Hold on, let her get her dish first before I bombard her with the camera. But yeah, when you start looking at the whole system, when you start getting elderly, is put against you. And then when it's really going to get bad, especially by 2030, 2037, get your health in order before then, because waiting for like a regular doctor visit is going to take about 6 months of waiting, because it's going to be overburdened. It's going to collapse. It will, because you have, I'm going to grab a spoon. I was going to make pancakes, but then I lost track of time. We're having conversations about the medical system and the, people's health that, I get so excited for. Do you want to get something to eat after your doctor's appointment, or just want to come back home?
I don't know, we might. I need to go to the bank and get some money.
Okay, we can do that. Do you want to do that today or Thursday or Wednesday?
Huh?
Do you want to do that today or Wednesday?
It doesn't make any difference.
No, I don't. We gotta go grocery shopping too. I just don't know when your shop is ready.
I gotta get the refrigerator cleaned up.
I know. That's your shot, Grandma.
Thank you.
Hold on. Grandma. Say hi, Grandma.
Hi. Good morning.
I've honestly thought about moving to Canada for this reason. I know it sounds silly, but I have heard that, and I've heard it's much. It's a friend of mine lives in Canada. If something went wrong, got it fixed for free. But I've also heard that the wait times are insane. They say, "Good morning, beautiful."
Oh.
Yeah, I could get behind that. I know. That's my thing is, my thing was when I started this journey through learning about all this stuff. That's one thing as I realized is how far am I willing to go with this, because there's so many problems I want to fix. But it's like I have to zone in on the diet and link to diseases. I know. Thank you, Amy. Amy says good morning.
Good morning.
And then it's good to see you up and moving.
Thank you.
She's so cute.
It's good to be up and moving.
Mm-hmm. She is. Here, let me move these. I can actually get them. Yeah, it is really. I get so excited though about all this stuff because you can ask Amy. If you're my friend, I am going to sit you through some of what I guess some people think is boring, but I find it so like I hang on all the words. I'm like, did you know? And I'm like right now, I am researching. I don't know if you can see them, but I have sunspots. So, I love that it's pulling you in. I know it's pulled me in too. So I have sunspots. So your skin is your largest organ. So sunspots and age spots are organ dysfunction. So if you can get to figure out where the dysfunction is, you can actually fix it, because again, your body heals, and it's incredible. So I thought I actually got I was having some pain right here, so I got sent for sorry, yeah, it's right here. I got sent for a liver scan and a gallbladder scan because I was like, oh my god. Let's be honest, I spent the first 28 years of my life eating processed foods and quick, easy, didn't, 2 energy drinks a day, and living the high life, right? So I thought, oh my goodness, it's probably my liver or something, I'm addicted to sugar too. Let's just put it out there. I went and got my liver scan and my gallbladder scan. My gallbladder and my liver were so clean. These people in this room were so excited about my liver and gallbladder. They're like, you don't even have the sludge that you'd normally see. You don't even have buildup on your liver walls. She's like, this is beautiful. And I'm almost 40 years old, So they got so excited. They were like, do you mind if we look at your kidneys as well? Can we ultrasound them? And I'm like, is it free? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, go for it. I'll roll over, you ultrasound them. My blood flow to my kidneys is beautiful. My kidneys are squeaky clean. And they're like asking me, what do you do? Because normally this is the healthiest organ we've seen in a very long time here. And I am so proud of you. What can I call you? I don't.
My oatmeal went
Is
over.
it Nautica? Hold on. Oatmeal went over. Oh, we'll clean up your cup and we'll just put that in the thing. We'll just put that in the sink when you're done. Or is it done being microwaved?
Thank you.
I love that. So, Nautica, is that, see, some people have screen names that they don't like being called, but they're still their screen names. And sometimes I call people by their names and they get offended. And I don't want to offend anybody. I'm also not one of those people that's like, okay, let's not misgender or anything. Okay, perfect. Hey. So, and I'm going to tell you something, Nautica. Look at everything you're ingesting. I don't just mean what you're eating. I do mean what you're eating depends on how your cells divide, replicate, rejuvenate, all that fun stuff. Oh, that's so cool. Oops, sorry, I hit my grandma's walker.
I'll get out of your way.
You weren't in the way, Grandma. Your health. It's also what laundry soap you're using. It's also what you're showering with, the shampoos that you're using. Shampoos have a laundry list of ingredients. I get this bar of soap from the Amish off Amazon. It's like this purple bar of soap. And yes, they do run out of it every once in a while. So you do have to just, but that bar of soap is what I wash my hair with. And then I get, at Whole Foods, they have a conditioner that is very good. It's their conditioner brand. And like the big bottle is like $15. It's very reasonable. That's the conditioner I use. I'm going to tell you something. My health has never been better. I went from beating breast cancer to basically struggling to get myself back into working order. But it's also things like, did you know like wire bras stop the breast from draining the toxins that come through right here? You have a gland in your armpit. And that's like when that gland swells, a lot of times that's how people know they have breast cancer, is because that gland in the armpit swells up. So that wire that runs across under your breast stops your breast from draining the toxins that it needs to drain. So my whole eyes have been open. And I'm going to tell you something. Congratulations, because doing a health journey is hard. There's so much information. There's so many diets. And again, food is classified as two things. If it protects the liver and feeds the gut, it's real, and eat, eat, eat. It doesn't matter how much you eat, just that you're eating real food. That's it. That's all you do. It doesn't matter if you eat all meat. It doesn't matter if you eat all vegetables or if you eat both. Just as long as you're eating real food. And keep going, because switching your health around, while it's not easy and there's an overabundance of information, it's totally doable. And you will never regret putting the effort into yourself. And you should be dang proud of yourself for doing what you're doing. And I am proud of you as well. Do you have a goal weight or anything that you'd like to get to? Or is it just like you're just trying to make healthier choices on a daily basis? Because that's pretty important too. I've helped some breast cancer survivor. You're about 180 right now. I'm going to tell you something. Okay, so these are the tips I give to people. They're very, very simple, but they're very impactful. So one is wake your stomach up. Before you eat anything in the morning, wake your stomach up. You can do this one of two ways. 15 minutes of sunlight directly into the eyes wakes all of your organs up so they function together beautifully. Or you don't have sun, you don't feel like it, you ain't got 15 minutes, that's okay too. I freeze ginger into little teaspoon cubes, and I take 1 teaspoon of ginger and a squeeze of lemon in some hot water in a cup like this. I'll show you. Hold on. I think it's dirty because I used it this morning. I just gave my grandmother her shot. So use her cup. I do this. Just a teaspoon of lemon, or up to a tablespoon of lemon, and a teaspoon of ginger and some warm water. And I drink that first thing in the morning. That wakes your stomach up. Once your stomach's awake, you can eat whatever you want, as long as it's real food, obviously, because if you eat fake food, your body doesn't recognize it. Hi. Oh, thank you. We're talking about ways to help support weight loss. So second, this might be hard. Everybody's got different schedules, but no eating 4 to 5 hours before you go to bed. So have your last meal, say you go to bed at 10, have your last meal no later than 7 p.m. I know that's 3 hours, but that's reasonable. Third thing, this is my portion size. Whatever size your palm is, say you're having chicken, potato salad, and peas. This much chicken, this much potato salad, and this much peas. That is what your plate looks like. Well, then you go, okay, I'm still hungry. That's fine. You can even have seconds. Wait 15 minutes to get seconds, because it takes 15 minutes for your stomach and your brain to communicate. So like, you've ever been eating and like all of a sudden you're just like, you're full, and then 2 seconds later you're so miserably full. And you're like, oh, I shouldn't have overate, and you're just miserable. So wait 15 minutes, go back for seconds. Again, your seconds, no bigger than this. Each dish, each portion, this big. That's it. That's the secret to weight loss. Wake your stomach up, wake your organs up so they're all functioning properly. Eat real food, and then, just make sure you digest all your food before you go to bed. And, portion size, and then the 15 minutes between. That's it. You got this, girl. You got this. That is life-changing right there. That is absolutely life-changing. It was for me. It's like everything just started to fall off. Like all the weight, all this, it just fell right off of me. I had tried diets. There's too much information out there. Everybody's like, oh, you need to eat just meat. Do the carnivore diet. And it's like, well, I don't have a problem with anybody who eats just meat, and it's all plausible. If you eat all vegetables, you can get the same nutrients. If you were eating all meat, your body's just in a different state. My only thing is with the carnivore diet, I don't understand some of it. Like someone tried to tell me that you're very welcome. That like my grandmother who's got kidney failure, she's in stage 3B kidney failure. She was in stage 4, but we've got her numbers back up because your kidneys can actually heal themselves. And she's at 95, she's healing her way out of kidney failure. She can't completely heal her way out of kidney failure because of her failing heart. Again, the kidneys only function if your heart is perfectly functioning, being a high pressure filtration system. But somebody's like, oh, well, if you kick your body into burning everything off, you're going to fix your metabolic dysfunction. And I'm like, yeah. But like if my grandma goes to the doctor and she needs medication, they can't prescribe her a regular dose of medication, because what'll happen is, say she takes a regular blood pressure pill that you would take or I would take. We take this pill. Her kidneys can't physically filter it out of her system. So it builds up as toxins right around the kidneys, and it can actually poison her. So my thought was, is if you're eating nothing but meat, you get protein. Now, protein's great, but when protein's digested, it comes up with a protein waste. Now, this protein waste has to be filtered out by the kidneys. If your kidneys physically can't filter it out, where is that protein waste going? It's getting stuck in pockets on your body. Yeah. And you know what? That's the thing. I was overweight like 5 years ago, and I have kept it off. Just following those simple rules. It's about getting your body, the human body is beautiful. Yeah, that's what I said. But he's like, no, I fixed my metabolic dysfunction. I'm like, well, you very much could help your kidneys in one aspect because you fix your metabolic dysfunction. It'll cause, like if you have fatty liver disease, and you eat nothing but meat, it's going to put your body into a state of ketosis, that keto diet, ketosis, which is going to make it burn all that stored stuff right off of your body, which is good. But with the kidneys, again, they can only do so much. If your organs are failing, there's only so much they can do. So I get that it would fix everything above the kidneys, but it would it would hurt the kidneys, and it would hurt the bladder as well, and it would cause your bladder to fail. So that's the thing, right? And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. You know what? You can do this. I know that the up and hill, of doing the diets, trying to commit to exercising, it's hard. It is flippin' hard. Yes, because the protein waste, it will actually poison you over time. But if you can get through the keto diet and eating just meat, if you can get the body to every other part of the body to function properly, and then you were to cut your protein down and focus on more intake of fiber, because the kidneys heal when you give them fiber. Actually, in fact, there's a whole thing about fiber. I think that's why so many people right now have colon cancer. Colon cancer is the second leading cause of death right now. That is a problem, right? But it's because we have no fiber in our diets. If they leave the fiber in processed food, it doesn't last very long. But if they strip it of the fiber, it'll last years because fiber degrades. But fiber, our colon and our intestines and our kidneys all need fiber. Did he have colon cancer? Did he eat a lot of fruits and vegetables? Because that's why I think colon cancer cases are on the rise, is a lack of fiber. And that's why somebody was like, the carnivore diet's the best. And I'm like, I don't believe in diets. I just believe in eating real food. If you're eating real meat that isn't pumped full of chemicals and everything else to keep its color, or like the chicken. Have y'all seen how they make GMO chicken? They take the stem cells from the chicken in the back of the neck. They put that, because stem cells are powerful, they will regrow anything. So they put them in this big, huge metal vat with this slimy stuff, and then the meat grows. Then they dump it out on this grate. The sludge, the mucus stuff drains off of the meat. They then, because obviously you can't eat meat that's been soaking in sludge for months, so obviously the next thing is you must throw a ton of chemicals to kill any bacteria that might have bred while in this metal vat. So then once it's sanitized, it is then pushed into fun little nugget shapes to be fed to our children. It's like, oh. Yeah, that's the thing. It does make a lot of sense. And that's the thing is, I love that people are getting passionate about their health and they're fixing their metabolic dysfunction, but I don't think they have the whole pie picture. I think they have a slice of it. And I think that not having the rest of it is like, you can't even, like, you'll struggle with constipation if you don't have fiber. You'll struggle with a lot of stuff, because fiber is what, basically fiber does the exact same thing as a lot of these poo-poo pills like Miralax and stuff. It takes water and pushes it through your intestines. It gives the stool bulk to get pushed on through and out of your body. But that's the sad thing, is like people facing things like colon cancer or organ failure. Like when I took my grandmother to the doctor, and she had, with her congestive heart failure, I had to ask to speak to a nutritionist. And I'm like, I really need to know, should she limit her salt? I mean, her sugar. And the doctor looked at me dead serious in her face and said, no, don't worry about the sugar. Worry about the sodium she's ingesting. And I'm like, what? I said, do you understand how sugar is digested? So glucose, you ingest the glucose, it has to bond with a protein molecule for you to actually digest it. Now, once the sugar molecule bonds with the protein molecule, your body, your liver, because that's the thing that gets rid of toxins out of your body, your liver can then slush it off. Your kidneys are responsible for the protein waste byproduct. Your liver is responsible for the actual protein. And that, again, has to bond with the sugar molecule, and your body can actually digest and get rid of the sugar particle. However, if you eat more sugar than your body can digest and get rid of, that's how you get fatty non-alcoholic cirrhosis of the liver. It starts like, it's like, okay, well, we don't need this right now. We're going to put it here, and we're going to put it here. And before you know it, your liver is covered in a fat-like substance. It's sugar and protein bonded together, and it covers the liver. And then once the liver is completely covered, it can no longer filter anything out. So those toxins just pile up. And it's, when you drink alcohol, it turns to sugar. Well, yeast and sugar, depending on what you're drinking, whether it's beer or like vodka, it's all digested as sugar. So you cause your body to kind of fall apart. And again, this doesn't happen overnight. This is years and years and years of, like, eating wrong. But that's the thing. It's called I can't pronounce. It's the Mildred or Mylar effect, and that's how the non-alcoholic fatty cirrhosis of the liver starts. Is you don't have, and I'll tell you, fun fact: carbs like rice, potatoes, corn, all get digested. They get broken down, and when they get to the small intestines, they're digested as sugar. So that is what sugar should be. That's where we should be getting our sugar from, is carbs. People demonize carbs. Carbs are fine. Well, carbs are fine as long as they're not heavily processed. So if you see enriched or fortified grains, they're heavily processed. Ooh, okay. Ozempic, I have a huge bone to pick with Ozempic. Yes, it is helping people lose weight, but do you know what happens when you give yourself an Ozempic shot? The reason it works, I know that was because Ozempic is dangerous, and I don't think people understand it. So when you take Ozempic, it's a shot. It stops your stomach from digesting the food you eat, which makes you feel fuller because you're keeping food in there. But I'm going to tell you something. Stopping your digestive tract from functioning properly is bad. Oh, y'all, I got so excited and so off thing. I will be live again tonight and tomorrow again. I will go live again tomorrow. I got to get Grandma to the doctor appointment. But Ozempic stops your digestive tract from digesting the food you eat. So, of course, you're going to feel full. But the side effects of leaving food to rot in your stomach, and then finally, as it slowly digests the food that you're eating, oh, God. I mean, rotted food in your intestines is one thing. I mean, as it's that's why get your food through your system as best as you can. But the Ozempic, I don't think they're and you know, it hasn't even been studied for weight loss. The effects on weight loss, yes, it's effective for weight loss, and they have prescribed it, but it's not gone through any clinical trials to be used like that. They don't know the long-term side effects of it. It does help with diabetes, because if you're not digesting your food, you're not causing an insulin spike. Of course, it's going to help your diabetes. And for some, that's a miracle. But again, if you don't digest the food that you're eating, I have a friend who's doing Ozempic, and he's lost like 15 pounds, and he doesn't look any thinner to me. But every time he takes it, he gets sick. He felt like his stomach, like he feels nauseous all day. And I'm like, it's because you have rotting food in your tummy, and it's not being digested, and you got a little. If anyone on here is on Ozempic, I can help you. You don't need that stuff, and Ozempic's not so good for you. And it does cause a lot of damage. Hi, Caitlin. Oh, you're coming in at the end of my stream. I lost track of time, y'all. I got so excited to talk to everybody. We have an appointment at 11:50. It's 11:20, so I gotta leave in like 5 minutes. Are you ready to go? Oh. My daughter likes oh, thank the Lord she stopped. Yes. If you can, you can. If not, I try to be consistent, but with a oh, Caitlin. But Jeezies. But try to just, if you have, get some questions together. If you're trying any of this stuff and anything is not working for you, let me know. Like if you're just like, I can't do this part of it, like the morning shot, or I can't get my 15 minutes of sunlight, I can help you try something else. That's actually super important, is the sunlight and the ginger and lemon. Lemon is acidic. However, lemon and lime actually help the body become alkaline. And if the body is alkaline, disease cannot thrive. If your body's acidic, disease love it. How are you? How'd you almost? What happened, Caitlin? I gotta know. Are you doing okay? And you got this. And I'm so proud of you of coming this far. Don't ever give up on yourself. That is the one person you should never give up on, is yourself. So don't ever give up on this struggle, because losing weight is a struggle. But I'm telling you, I've helped someone get out of congestive heart failure and failing kidneys completely. They gave him 6 months to live. She's like almost 500 pounds. But just using those simple things, because if you're trying to lose weight, it's already hard to do this whole uproot of your life. Don't try to do that. Just small changes add up to a big picture. So small little steps. Do what you can, and don't punish yourself. If you didn't meet, do it that day. Like say you're doing really good and you go out and you're like, okay, I'm going to eat some fast food. That's okay. Don't punish yourself. Just know that tomorrow's a new day. So don't, just keep doing it. You got this, girl. Oh, and I got 8 likes on my stream. I really appreciate you guys so much. So much. Because this is my love. This is my passion. So me helping y'all and y'all helping me, very much appreciated. And did Caitlin leave? I think Caitlin left. She's like, yep, my knee's broken. I'm not listening to you today. But I do have to go, y'all, because if not, I won't be able to love the hearts. I love you guys. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are so cool. Say we're cool together. Y'all will find I'm the biggest nerd and biggest dork y'all will ever meet, and I love myself and I love who I am, and you know, but I enjoy learning. I'm a lifelong learner, as they call it. Yeah, I love the hearts. All right, guys, I really do have to go. Yeah. Okay. Bye, guys, and I'm hopefully going to be on tonight. Definitely going to be on tomorrow, so if I don't catch you tonight, I will definitely catch you up in the morning. Bye, guys.